Hello, hello. It is Thursday, January 2nd. Feels like a Monday though. Vic went back to work today, but Riker's still home, and we all just got home from the gym, and I wanted to check in because I'm 32 weeks and 6 days today. Tomorrow I'll be 33 weeks, but today was shot day, and we also had our appointment. Oh, this guy has me at full capacity, let me tell you. My belly feels stretched out. But so we just got home from the gym. I actually had a really fantastic workout today because it was my first workout of the new year. I got in legs and did squats and deadlifts. You guys are kind of crooked because they're my favorite thing to do, and I'm still able to do them. So I did just heat up my lunch. I have poor timing. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go eat my lunch, and then I'm gonna come back and talk to you guys afterwards. So this is roasted sweet potato, chicken breast, and broccoli. And I got this from Icon Meals. It's one of their, like, create your own. So I'm gonna have that with a little bit of Stubbs barbecue sauce. I really like the spicy, but this one's good too. It's nice because barbecue sauce can easily, do you see this hair? What's going on here? Hold on, Cora's yelling for me. Cora, you're supposed to be in your room. Go lay down. Cora's in timeout for being a bad listener. It's really easy for barbecue sauce to be very high in sugar, so very high in carbs, because you basically just take ketchup and add brown sugar to it, or tomato paste, I suppose. But this one has really good macros. It's only 30 calories, 7 grams of carbs, 5 grams of sugar, 4 grams of added sugar. So I like it lots. Has good flavor. So I'm gonna go eat this, and then I'll get you guys up to date with what my doctor said about our most recent appointment. So yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Okay, so there's lunch when it's not covered in plastic. And then I just add a little garlic salt, and there's my barbecue sauce. And look, ignore my half a banana sitting over there. Cora this morning was like, I found the other half of your banana. It's hiding in here. It looks all ugly, but I only ate half of it yesterday. I've been such a good water drinker. I'm almost at 5 p.m. already. So I'm pretty proud of that. Look at all that water gone. Okay, time to go eat. We went to our appointment this morning. I am, so at 32 weeks and 6 days, so I'll be 33 tomorrow. I'm up 24 pounds. My blood pressure is starting to be like a normal person's blood pressure, which is high for me. So I thought that was kind of funny today. The baby's heart rate was doing good. It was at like 139, 140. She said he is very head down. That was how she said it. And he's like engaged. So he's low in my pelvis right now. And I mean, comes all the way up to here. Like, this kid is taking up every inch of space he can. Now, because we're getting closer to when I've delivered previously, so Riker was delivered at 33 weeks, but my water is intact, so we're doing good right now. They did my Group B strep test today. I haven't gotten a call. I don't know if they have to send it off or they can do it in-house, but since it's good for a month, they went ahead and did that today so that we're good to go in case anything happens between now and early February. Now, so today is January 2nd, and I am 37 weeks on January 31st. So that is the earliest go time I find acceptable because I want to deliver in the birth center. I have to be 37 weeks. So last week we had our Rose baby appointment. We got to speak with a nurse that works at the hospital that we plan to deliver at, and she was on the birth center committee. So we got some good insight about what it's like to deliver there. And then today we met with a partner of my doctor's who's actually a PA for the group. And I asked her some questions too, because right now they have me meeting everybody just in case my doctor is not on call. And I feel so at ease this time around, and like everyone we've met who's going to be involved in this process has just been so chill. And like I was telling Vic that with the first two kids, and this might have had a lot to do with like my maturity level and just my personality. With the first two kids delivering at a military hospital, Cora was delivered at a civilian hospital because we had to go in last minute. So we went to the nearest hospital instead of having to go to the military hospital. But my care was received through the military. I felt like I was up against stuff the whole time. It was like, this is how we do it. You're gonna have to deal, and things like that. And this time around, I don't know if it's just that I'm more confident in my ability to say yes or no to stuff, and I am just more confident in myself as a mother, or if it's just how great everyone here is. But it's been a lot of like, yeah, no big deal. Sure. Yeah, if that's what you want to do. Like, they're just so chill about everything. And so like today we had asked about if I have to get an IV, and because I hate IVs. I didn't have one with Riker, even though like my water was broken. They tried to give me an IV and I was like, get away from me. Excuse me. I was like, no, I'm not getting an IV. I'll drink water, because they weren't putting any medication in it. They just wanted to hydrate me. And so I just made sure to drink water. And I have precipitous labors, so they move very quickly. What was I saying? Oh, so didn't get an IV there. And then the nurse at your baby appointment had said that she thought that Dr. Payne usually liked her patients to have an IV. And so I was like kind of surprised, because she's been very chill about everything. And so I was like, I can't imagine that she'll fight me on stuff unless it's super necessary. And so if I have to have medication or something. And so I asked her partner today, and she was like, if Dr. Payne said you can deliver in the birth center, then you don't have to worry about anything, because basically if you have to have an IV, you're not delivering in the birth center. So if Dr. Payne's comfortable with you going to the birth center, you're fine. And I was like, awesome, everything can be super chill then. The other stuff we talked about today, I am starting to have contractions. So I usually have anywhere between 1 to 3 a day. They're pretty uncomfortable. They can be anywhere from 90 seconds to like 2 minutes long. And they're not Braxton Hicks. Because Braxton Hicks are supposed to be uncomfortable and not painful. These are enough to take my attention and like stop me from talking. And I mean, I had one New Year's Eve during dinner, and so we were with a bunch of other people. So I just like internalized and sat quietly. But they can be enough to get me to want to like change positions and not talk. And the funny thing, they'll start where I'll think to myself like, oh, he must be stretching. And then it'll spread to my back, and I'm like, oh, this isn't good. And then it spreads down into my thighs, and everything basically from my mid thighs to my low back clenches very hard. It builds and builds and builds, and then it starts to taper off. And then what I find so funny about contractions is when they are on their way out, like when they end, you get this wave of like goodness almost, like you feel so much better. And so I'm having mostly 2, sometimes 3 of those a day, usually at the beginning of the day and the end of the day. I haven't had one yet today, so I'm excited about that. But we also just did my shot this morning. I don't know if the two are connected, but that's the point of the shots. They're supposed to help keep the baby in. So she was not concerned that I'm having those. We did talk about the fact that I might be having more than just the 2 to 3, and I might be having shorter ones, and that they're just not registering on my personal Richter scale, basically, and that my tolerance level might just be at a point where those get my attention and the other ones I'm just like achiness and blowing it off. So they didn't go as far as wanting to like monitor anything. She just listened to the baby's heartbeat. We talked about, you know, if things do start to seem consistent, that it might be time to roll in, and that's why we did the GBS test. So it's just already done. Because Riker was delivered at 33 weeks and was perfectly healthy, had 0 issues, I have this like sense of peace kind of with like being here. I feel like they'll be okay if he comes early. I obviously don't want to have another preterm baby. That's why we're doing shots in my butt every week. But it is nice to just kind of feel like it wouldn't be the end of the world or uncharted territory if he was to come now. The big thing I wanted to talk about, she asked me how much water I drink, and so I told her I consistently...
Mom, can I just stay awake?
You can stay awake, but you have to go play. So she asked me about my water intake, and she was like, that's the one thing we know can be influential with preterm birth, is dehydration. So I've been hitting 80 to 100 ounces consistently, and now I just have that extra push to make sure I drink a full gallon, if not more. So that's why I'm so proud of my water intake today. I'm also gonna try and clean up my food choices a little bit. I haven't been going crazy by any means, but I could eat more whole foods.
Riker's poor tummy.
I know, Riker's poor tummy hurts, huh?
Let's go see Mom.
So, kids are taken care of. So dehydration can lead to an increase. It's relatively small in terms of like shown clinically, but can lead to contractions. And so basically, you know, when you're pregnant, your blood volume increases by like double. And so then if you're dehydrated, you're reducing the flow of nutrients and everything to the baby as well as to yourself. And so sometimes the uterus responds by contracting, just like you would get cramps or something like that, which is why one of the things they tell you when you start to have contractions or when you have Braxton Hicks or anything like that, they'll say drink some water, lay down, or change positions. If you're laying down, get up and move around, but they always say drink some water because it can help. So that's gonna be my motivation to make sure this guy and I get all the water we need. And then she also said, and she was like, I have no evidence for this except for my own experience. She's like, but I feel like my athletic patients tend to deliver sometime between 33 and 35 weeks. And I was like, okay. So who knows? I have theories about that. I think that my dating has been wrong with all 3 kids, and that I was actually further along than they gave me dates for, because I track things. And so if we were to go off of my last period, the start of my last period, I would be 3 weeks further along than I am now. And I was having fairly consistent cycles. So, you know, the guess is that for this cycle that I got pregnant on, it just happened to be off and I ovulated later than normal. And I feel like that's really convenient that with all 3 kids, I've walked in saying, this is when my period was, or like, I think it was either with Riker or Cora, I knew like exactly when conception had taken place, because I use those tracking apps for everything, if you know what I mean. And they still gave me these crazy dates. And so I think that maybe I am just prone to smaller babies, and maybe I just measure smaller so they stick with that. Now, you know, they use ultrasound in the beginning, and in like the first trimester, like an 8-week fetus is pretty much an 8-week fetus, like for the most part. And so,
Mommy, no, we got another poor tummy.
I know, he just needs to lay down on the couch and relax, and then his tummy will feel better. Okay?
It's not.
Do you want to get him some water?
Yeah.
Okay, why don't you get him his water, okay?
What about my mouth?
Well, get yourself some water, man. So, you know, that when they see that it's like a certain crown to rump length, they can say, this is how far along you are. And, you know, science is science and all, but it can still have outliers. I think I might just be an outlier and have smaller babies, but I'm not a doctor, so that's just my theory. Although it would be really cool if I was 3 weeks further along right now. That would put me at 30, almost 36. And I'd only have 1 more week to go. And I have been uncomfortable lately. My tummy is just at capacity. And so like it literally just feels like a bruise by the end of the day. It's tender. And yeah. But beyond that, it actually hasn't been that bad. I didn't have that many questions for her beyond the weird contractions that happen every now and then. I haven't had anything concerning. I did ask her, because I'm having those and because I tend to deliver between now and the next couple of weeks, is it okay to keep up with my activity level? And I was like, I'm on my way to the gym after this appointment. Is that okay? And she was like, yeah, I would much rather you be active and mentally and physically healthy than have you sit down, because you know, bed rest is not evidence-based. And especially at this point, and it tends to just make women feel like they're going bonkers. And so she told me to do whatever feels good. So I went and had a leg day. Things are going good, but my big guy needs me. So there's my update. I'll try and get this up either today or tomorrow. Should we go take care of big brother?
Yeah.
Okay, did you get him water?
Yeah.
Yes?
From the stairs.
Okay. Is he laying down?
I hope he is. But he's not laying on the stairs, so we go take care of him. Let's go.
Okay, let's go take care of him. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Put on my glove.